I told you that with just 7 income ETFs, you could build a portfolio that pays you $1,000 a month. And the cool thing is, you don't need $1 million to do this. Now with this portfolio, I've done this video with some NEOS ETFs, but in this portfolio, we're gonna be using some Goldman Sachs, we're gonna be selling some puts, and we're also going to be using some international and semiconductors to add a little bit of diversification. Now with this portfolio, could it be better than that NEOS $1,000 portfolio? It could be. It could be a little bit different, adding some different ETFs, and we're going to be finding out what those ETFs are. Let's get to it and let's dive in. This video is purely educational content and should not be considered personal finance advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor and I don't know your financial situation, risk tolerance, or even investment goals. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results, and always do your own research and consider consulting with a qualified financial professional before making any investment. All right, let's get on to the video. Hey guys, my name is Steve and I run the Frugal Expat website where we try to help people to save more and invest better. Today we're going to be breaking out a 7 income ETF portfolio paying $1,000 per month using a $100,000 portfolio. Let's dive in. Now, I have done some income portfolios before. I've got a 5 NEOS ETF portfolio. I've got a 4 NEOS ETF portfolio. I got some other portfolios out there. But today I wanted to do something different. I wanted to have 7 income ETFs. I wanted to have not just NEOS, but some Goldman Sachs, some other ones that throw in a little bit different strategies, a little bit different kind of sectors. Not only just the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100, but what about some small caps, some internationals, and even some diversification with using some semiconductors. And so I wanted to build that portfolio to help you guys think about something different. Now, we are always talking about, you need $1 million or $5 million to retire. But here's the thing with income portfolios. You can have a much smaller portfolio in assets, but you can also produce some pretty good income that can help supplement maybe your retirement or even just take care of your day-to-day job and your day-to-day duties. And so that's why I'm building this portfolio to help you think about something different. Now, this portfolio may not be perfect for you. It may be perfect for other people. It may also add some ETFs you may not like, and so you can interchange them with other ETFs. But let's start off with those 7 ETFs and let's dive in to which ones they are. Our first ETF is going to be SPYI from NEOS, which is the NEOS S&P 500 High Income ETF. This ETF tracks the S&P 500. It gives you about a 12% yield, and it also uses cover call spread strategy or cover call strategy. So what it's doing is selling cover calls on the SPX or the S&P 500, and when conditions are right, it'll also buy some calls as well to also allow a little bit of some upside upon the cover call strategy. Now, it is also selling about 60 to 90% of its portfolio, so not the entire portfolio is fully capped, and so that's good news. It's allowing some upside with this portfolio. It uses 1256 contracts, so it's going to give you some 60% long-term capital gains and 40% short-term capital gains upon some of those distributions, and it's also returning some capital about that 90 to 100%, and so there's going to be tax deferral for a good bit, and that's good news for you if you're looking for some tax efficiency. Now, I like SPYI because it's a great ETF to kind of build a core around. It's got the S&P 500, it's got some good tax efficiency, a pretty good yield, and it's with a good ETF management company like NEOS. Now, the expense ratio is 0.68%, meaning it costs about $68 for every $10,000 invested. But with everything else I just explained, I mean, the expense ratio just makes up for everything. So this is a great ETF to kind of build around a core. Our next ETF is going to be qqqi, which is the NEOS NASDAQ 100 High Income ETF. Now, this ETF is structured very similar to SPYI, but it tracks the NASDAQ 100. Now, it's going to sell calls on the NDX, which is the NASDAQ 100. It's got a yield of about 14% and expense ratio of about 0.68%. So this ETF is going to have a little bit more volatility because it tracks the NDX, but it's going to have the same tax efficiencies with the 1256 contracts and the return of capital. It's also going to have a pretty good yield of about 14% and some good price appreciation because as the NASDAQ continues to go up, it will continue to grow as well. we have seen from March 30th until probably about now, it's around 25 to 30% the Nasdaq has gone up. And so you're going to see that with qqqi going up as well. So that's good news for you, and it's got a pretty good yield. So these are two individual ETFs that you can build around a core. So let's dive in some more ETFs. Our next ETF is going to be gpiq, which is the Goldman Sachs Nasdaq 100 High Income ETF. Now this ETF is a little bit different than qqqi. Instead of having about that 60 to 90%, it does about 25 to 75%. And so it does a dynamic cover call strategy. So sometimes we'll sell less or sometimes sell more, just depending on how the market is going. And it'll also kind of change the different strike prices to get a little bit more premium or to get a little bit more upside. And so it gives you a pretty good price appreciation compared to qqqi. Now, if we take a look at year to date, gpiq on price appreciation alone is up about 9%, while qqqi is up about 5%. And so that's a little bit different. It's giving you maybe a little bit less yield, but a little bit more price appreciation. Now it does track the Nasdaq 100. It gives you some return of capital. It's got a low expense ratio of 0.29%, costing you about $29 for every $10,000 invested. The yield is sitting at around between that 9 to 10%, around that 10%. And so you're getting a pretty good yield. You're also getting some good price appreciation. And this is like a growth machine, a part of this portfolio. So with yield getting about 14% with qqqi, with this one, you're getting more growth. And so you're helping the portfolio to grow a little bit more with gpiq. Our next ETF is going to be OVL. Now, OVL stands for Overlay Shares Large Cap Equity ETF. Now, OVL is a little bit different. This is like our wild card. This is not even a cover call ETF. It is a put credit spread ETF. Now, this ETF was created in 2019 and it's really kind of skyrocketed in 2026 because it went from quarterly payments to monthly payments, bringing up the yield from like around 5% all the way up to 10.5%. So this is a great ETF. Now what it does, it holds about 100% of its portfolio in VOO, which is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. And so it's got exposure to the S&P 500 and it's going to sell put credit spreads on the S&P 500. So what it's going to do is going to sell a put. It's also going to buy a put at a lower strike price. And so if the S&P 500 drops below the one strike price and also below the second strike price, then it's going to have a capped amount of money it's going to lose. And so that's good news for this one. But if the bull market continues to go with the S&P 500, it's going to have some great price appreciation and it's also going to continue to have yield. And so that's the good thing about having OVL as part of your portfolio. And so as you can see in the last, not even 5 years, but since its inception, OVL has beaten the S&P 500, and that's great news to you because if you want a piece of the S&P 500, you can have it. If you want some income, you have it. And so that's why OVL is a great ETF to buy and hold. Now, it does have an expense ratio of 0.79%, meaning it costs about $79 for every $10,000 invested. But with that, you're still getting some great price appreciation. You're getting great yield of 10.5% and a good little ETF that you can buy and hold for the future. Hey guys, if you really like this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want maybe someone to help you out in building your own portfolio, you can set up a time with me, Steve. I'm going to leave a link in my description and a link in the pinned comments, and we can set up a time where we can go over your portfolio, we can set up a plan, we can create goals, use some worksheets, some questions to help you to do better. Let me know and sign up through that link, and I will see you guys maybe in one of those chats. All right, let's get back to our video. Our next ETF is IDVO, which is the Amplify International Enhanced Dividend Income ETF. Now this ETF gives you a little bit of some more diversification. Our last couple ETFs were all US based ETFs. IDVO gives you a portion of the international community, and so when the US is not doing so well, international is going to go up. 2025, international did well. 2026, international is still doing well. And so with this ETF, you're getting exposure to the international market, and it's also going to have a little bit of some option income, a part of that. Now the yield is only sitting at about 5%, so the yield's not too high, but the capital appreciation is going to be much higher. Year to date is sitting at about 12.35% in price appreciation alone, with the 1 year being around 35%. So this is a great little ETF ETF that you can buy and hold for the future, and it also helps to diversify your portfolio, not only having US equities, but you're also having some international equities as well. Now our next ETF is going to be IWMI, which is the NEOS Russell 2000 High Income ETF. Now this ETF is a little bit like the SPY and the qqqi. It tracks the Russell 2000 index. It sells some 1256 contracts on the RUT, and so it's going to give you that tax efficiency like you'll see in SPY and qqqi. It's also giving you exposure to small caps. Now we've talked a lot about some of the large caps of the NASDAQ 100, the S&P 500, but now this is giving you some small caps exposure. It's also giving you a 14% yield, which is pretty good, and that 0.68% expense ratio. So it's got the good NEOS things going on, and it's giving you a pretty good yield with exposure to small caps. We have large caps already. We have some international. Now we have some exposure to some small caps. So this ETF could be a great ETF to buy and hold for the future and to build this portfolio so you can have some good exposure to small caps and a pretty good yield of 14%. Now our last ETF is going to be a semiconductor ETF, and that is SOXY, or SOXY. Now SOXY is the YieldMax Semiconductor Option Income ETF. Now this ETF does have a distribution rate of 12%, and that is what it's trying to do. Now some months it's going to be less, some months it's going to be more, and this ETF could be a great portion into your portfolio, giving you some high upside with some pretty good dividend yields. Now a lot of you guys may be liking the other YieldMax Semiconductor ETF as in Chippy, but with this portfolio, we are using SOXY. It's giving you a good yield of about 12%. It's also giving you some good price appreciation. Now, if we looked at year-to-date price appreciation, SOXY is doing about 54% in price appreciation alone, and the total return is about 120%. And so this is a great little ETF to buy and hold for this portfolio. So it's got about 15 to 30 different companies within it, and it's selling some covered calls on it. It owns the assets under management, so that's good news. A lot of people think that YieldMax is trash, but there are some ETFs that are not, and SOXY is one of those. Now it's going to have that 15 to 30 different companies like Nvidia, Broadcom, AMD, maybe some Micron in it as well, and it's going to sell some covered calls on those. Now it could have a little bit of some capped upside, and as you can see, like maybe an SMH, an SOXX, or a PSI are up like a 140, 150, 160, 80% in the last year. SOXY is not up that high. It's going to be up maybe that 90 to 100%, and so it's going to have a little bit of capped upside on that. But you're also getting that 12% yield, unlike those other semiconductor ETFs. And so that's good news to you. It's going to pay you monthly. It's going to have some of those distributions are going to be counting as return of capital. Some of them may not. And just to let you guys know, some of them have a 0%, but a lot of them are going to have some return of capital. And so that's good news for you guys. It gives you some tax efficiency while tracking the semiconductor portfolio. Now it does have a high expense ratio of 1.06%, so it costs about $106 for every $10,000 invested. But if you're going to have a little bit exposure to some more semiconductors in a concentrated portfolio, this ETF is a great one to buy and hold. And if you want more yield, of course, go with Chippy. Chippy's got about 30 to 40% yield, but it's also got less price appreciation, and it's a little bit more volatile, so you can have that one as well. Now, if we were to break this down into kind of different percentages, we could put like 20% with SPYI, maybe 17% with qqqi, maybe 14% with gpiq, 15% with OVL, maybe 10% with IDVO, 12% with IWMI, and maybe 12% with SOXY. This is going to give you anywhere between like maybe $850 to about $1,000 per month off of a $100,000 portfolio. You could also get that $200 to $2,300 per month with a $250,000 portfolio, and maybe $4,000 to $4,600 per month with a $500,000 portfolio. So with these 7 ETFs, you could build a $1,000 portfolio off of $100,000, and that's the good news to you. Now, there are definitely risks, and I would be doing a disservice if I didn't explain some of those risks right up front and tell you what could be going on with this portfolio. Now, there are a couple different risks that we can look at. First of all is with a lot of the covered call ETFs, there could be some capped upside. Now, you're selling a good portion of that portfolio, and so you're not seeing the huge upside. Especially, I mean, you look at SOXY versus like an SMH. SMH is up way high, but SOXY is up pretty high, but not as high as like an SMH. So you're gonna have some capped upside. Second thing is NAV erosion. So there could be some NAV erosion, but here's the thing with NAV erosion. NAV erosion can happen with any ETF. It could be qqqi, it could be VOO, but just to let you guys know that if market downturns do happen, there's gonna be a little bit more drawdowns. But you just got to make sure, if we take a look at the ETFs and you not getting like the highest possible yield as possible, but as price appreciation continues to happen, you're going to have a pretty good portfolio. Now, an ETF like QYLD is going to have a little bit more NAV erosion, and you're going to watch your portfolio kind of slip. But with these ETFs I explained, these have some pretty good positive NAV, but a risk is always NAV erosion. Another risk could be OVL during drawdowns. So OVL does track the S&P 500, and so you're going to see pretty good price appreciations with these bull runs. But in 2022, as the market did drop, OVL went down 22%, while the S&P 500 only went down 18%. That's because it's doing those put credit spreads, and so you're going to have a little bit more drawdowns. But like I said, the bull market is going to continue to skyrocket. Another risk could be distribution cuts. And if market volatility does go away, then there could be some distribution cuts. And so that's something to look out for as well. And there are, of course, some other risks. But here's the thing is, you can build your own 7 income ETF portfolio. Let me know in the comments what your income portfolio looks like. How much are you making off of it? And are there some ETFs that I could put in this portfolio? I kind of like all of these. Like, I like OVO. I like qqqi. I'm a fan of gpiq, SPYI. I like SOXY. I like adding some international and some small caps diversification within this portfolio. These are some great ones that you could add to your portfolio. You could also add some growth ETFs like a qqqi, VGT, SMH to your portfolio. You can also add like maybe an AVUV as a small cap. There are so many possibilities that you could make into this portfolio. These are just 7 income ETFs that I wanted to build a $1,000 per month portfolio out of, and I hope this can help you to do better. All right, let me know in the comments, and remember to check out this video up here of the 4 news ETFs that make $1,000 per month. All right, I'll see you guys in our next video.